Hello, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so by clicking on the subscribe button below. Hello friends, in this video I will present to you the latest information about the coronavirus or COVID-19 pandemic. This is a nasty disease for which presently there is neither a vaccine nor a guaranteed cure. Because of this, the whole world is scared of it like never before. Even the governments of powerful countries that have hundreds of the most deadly atomic weapons and ICBMs are unable to protect their citizens from this nasty disease. It seems atomic weapons do not work against this formidable foe. Starting February 15, 2020, so many countries shut their borders to travel from foreigners. But starting June 1, they started relaxing these travel restrictions and also lockdowns. And now, due to a second wave of this nasty disease, some countries are reimposing lockdowns and travel restrictions, at least temporarily. COVID-19 can take mild to severe courses. Sometimes there are no symptoms and sometimes people die. Recently, researchers investigated the role that blood type might play in patients with particularly severe form of this disease. The researchers examined 1,610 patients with COVID-19 respiratory failure in Italy and Spain, where the coronavirus hit particularly hard. All patients had a particularly bad form of the disease. Some did not survive. Blood type A means highest risk. People with blood type A seem to be at a predominantly high risk of severe course of COVID-19. Generally, 40% of the population have this blood type. They might be twice as likely to need oxygen supply or ventilation in the event of a coronavirus infection as people with blood type O, which accounts for 45% of the population in general. People with type O blood type seems to be able to consider themselves lucky as things stand. Even though they are not protected against an infection with the virus, the study shows that they have the lowest risk of having a severe form of the disease. People with type O negative, that is O negative blood, also play a special role in blood donations. They are considered so-called universal donors and can help anyone in the need of a blood transfusion. Blood type B and AB are not as widespread, making 10% and 5% of the population respectively. That is, type B are 10% and type AB are 5% of the population. The risk of severe COVID-19 course for such patients could lie somewhere in between that of patients with type O or A, according to the study. The results of the study may help in developing various drug treatments. Researchers have used similar approaches in the past when searching for medications to fight other diseases. For example, in the case of malaria, researchers have established a clear link between the disease and different blood types. For example, it is now known that people with blood type O very rarely develop severe malaria and are very well protected against its most severe form. In the case of other diseases, other blood types protect the human body best. For example, with the plague, people with blood type A show the mildest symptoms. In another news, Germany's CureVac is hoping to have initial result from vaccine trials for COVID-19 in 2 months. BBC said on June 16, 2020 that for coronavirus, Dexamethasone proves first life-saving drug. This cheap and widely available drug can help save the lives of patients seriously ill with coronavirus. The low-dose steroid treatment, Dexamethasone, is a major breakthrough in the fight against the deadly virus, UK experts say. It cut the risk of death by a third for patients on ventilators. For those on oxygen, it cut the deaths by a fifth. Had the drug been used earlier to treat patients in the UK from the start of the pandemic, up to 5,000 lives could have been saved, said the researchers. And it could be of a huge benefit in poor countries like India with high number of COVID-19 patients. The UK government has 200,000 courses of the drug in its stockpile and says the NHS or National Health Service will make Dexamethasone available to patients. Prime Minister Boris Johnson said there was a genuine case to celebrate, quote, a remarkable British scientific achievement, unquote, adding, quote, we have taken steps to ensure we have enough supplies even in the event of a second peak, unquote. Remember that about 19 out of 20 patients with coronavirus recover without being admitted to hospital. Of those who are admitted, most also recover, but some may need oxygen or mechanical ventilation. And these are the high-risk patients whom Dexamethasone appears to help. The drug is already used since 1960s to reduce inflammation in a range of other conditions, including rheumatoid arthritis, asthma, and some skin conditions. And it appears to help stop some of the damage that can happen when the body's immune system goes into overdrive as it tries to fight off coronavirus. This overreaction is called cytokine storm, and it can be deadly. However, Dexamethasone does not appear to help people with milder symptoms of coronavirus who do not need help with their breathing. The recovery trial, running since March of this year, also looked at the malaria drug Hydroxychloroquine, which has subsequently been ditched amid concern it increases fatalities and heart problems. The antiviral drug Remdesivir, made by a US firm, meanwhile, which appears to shorten recovery time for people with coronavirus, is already approved by the authorities in USA and UK. Half of all COVID patients who require a ventilator do not survive. So cutting the risk by a third would have a huge impact. So far, the only other drug proven to benefit COVID patients is Remdesivir, which has been used for Ebola. That has been shown to reduce the duration of coronavirus symptoms from 15 days to 11. But the evidence was not strong enough to show whether it reduced mortality. Unlike Dexamethasone, Remdesivir is a new drug with limited supplies and a price that has yet to be announced. Russia was to start using antiviral drug Avifavir. Reuters reported on June 1, 2020, that Russia was to start giving its first drug, approved to treat COVID-19 to patients, a move it hoped will ease strains on the health system and speed a return to normal economic life. Russian hospitals have started giving the antiviral drug, which is registered under the name Avifavir, to patients from June 11. The head of Russia's RDIF Sovereign Wealth Fund told Reuters in an interview. He said the company behind the drug would manufacture enough to treat around 60,000 people a month. There is currently no vaccine for COVID-19, the disease caused by the new coronavirus, and human trials of several existing antiviral drugs have yet to show efficacy. A new antiviral drug from Gilead in USA called Remdesivir has shown some promise in small efficacy trials against COVID-19, and it is being given to patients by some countries under compassionate or emergency use rules. Avifavir, known generically as Favipiravir, was first developed in the late 1990s by a Japanese company. Russian scientists had modified the drug to enhance it, and Moscow would be ready to share the details of those modifications within 2 weeks, as Reuters reported. Japan has been trialing the same drug known there as Avigane. It has won plaudits from Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and $128 million in government funding, but has yet to be approved for use. Avifavir appeared on a Russian government list of approved drugs. On June 2, it was reported that in India, the use of Hydroxychloroquine as a preventive measure for COVID-19 is being recommended to more people. Even President Trump said that he took this drug as a preventive measure. As safety concerns prompt several countries to reconsider the controversial use of a malaria drug to treat COVID-19, India's government is recommending that frontline workers take the medicine to prevent infection. Researchers say the advice is premature and risky because there is limited evidence that the drug, that is hydroxychloroquine, works against the new coronavirus, and there are a growing number of reports that it can trigger serious side effects. There is no vaccine for the new coronavirus, so the prospect of a widely available drug such as hydroxychloroquine and a similar compound, chloroquine, reducing infection risk is appealing, especially in parts of India where high population density makes social distancing difficult. Many people around the world, including US President Donald Trump, have taken the drug in the hope it might prevent infection. But at this stage, there is almost no evidence that the drug works in this way. However, President Trump has so far remained healthy, and it seems that this medicine is working for him. So far, almost all the data on the drug's safety and efficacy comes from studies that tested hydroxychloroquine as a treatment for COVID-19. The latest of these is a global observational study in The Lancet that reportedly looked at 96,000 people with COVID-19. It reported that the drug offered no treatment benefit and that people who took it were more likely to die than those who didn't. Reuters reported that in India, Favipiravir and Umifenovir are drugs that are in clinical trials to treat COVID-19. Along with Favipiravir, there are other drugs like ACQH and Umifenovir which is also known as Arbidol, and Mycobacterium W, which is an anti-leprosy drug, which are now in clinical trials. Favipiravir and Umifenovir, that is Arbidol, are the drugs approved by Drug Controller General of India, which is DCGI, for clinical trials to treat COVID-19 at Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, which is CSIR. Dr. Shekhar Mande, Director General of CSIR in India, said the regulatory body had approved Favipiravir for the second phase of clinical trials, and multi-center trials were underway across different locations, including Mumbai and Pune. Favipiravir is also being used to treat new influenza viruses in Japan. It is the generic version of the drug Avifavir, originally sold in Japan under the brand name Avifavir. This is a pyrazine carboxamide derivative and is studied to treat other viral infections. One of the repurposed drugs, Avifavir, could shorten recovery time for patients with COVID-19. The Umifenovir drug also has a good safety profile and acts by preventing entry of viruses into human cells. It also works to prime the immune system and is used for the treatment of influenza. Clinical trials to evaluate its efficacy are also underway, Dr. Mande said. That's all for today, friends. And the research for finding a vaccine or cure for coronavirus continues. And I'm sure you will hear more of such stories in the future, at least for the next couple of years. And hopefully, very shortly, we will have a vaccine or a cure. In the meantime, stay safe, practice social distancing, and also use a mask whenever you go in the public, and avoid crowded places, and be careful. Hello. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so by clicking on the subscribe button below. You should also share this video with your friends by clicking on the share button below. You can share it via WhatsApp, via Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or via email. Please also write your thoughts in the comment section below so that others may benefit from your thoughts. You can also click on the bell icon so that you will be informed when I post new videos. Thank you.